What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today, and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And as I said, conviction is so important in the space. It only takes 3 hourly candles. So this is actually the Bitcoin chart. Now Bitcoin is trading at 31,000, and after last week we were talking about 29, 28,000, and then it was not going back to 31,000. It was all doom and gloom. But now it only takes you 3 1-hour candle in order to pump the Bitcoin price up. And once the Bitcoin price goes up, what happens is that all of the other altcoins, most of them would have a double-digit increment, right? So that's why, crypto is indeed very volatile, but it is indeed for volatility. You could make back what you lost, right? So it is a good day, and today I would like to explore with you why, Bitcoin has this huge jump, right? So if you look at this happened today at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So it kind of happened before the market opened. So I do think that maybe the whales, for some reason at this point, wanted to push the price up, right? But doesn't mean that, oh, bull market is back. I wouldn't say that. But because you have to understand, once, if you look at these midnight times, one, it is being pushed up. A very important factor that holds up the price is actually the traditional market. And at this time, the only things that are trading, right? The only thing that are trading at this time is actually the Asian market. So I do believe that the Asian market has some contribution to this. So I'll share more about this. So for those of you who do not know, I had my gallery opening yesterday. I am still doing a giveaway. Unfortunately, I was unable to do the giveaways yesterday. So right now, what I'm going to do is I have 2 threads. So what happened is that in my previous thread, if you retreated, congratulations, you are in the part 1 of the giveaway. If you want to join part 2 to increase the chance of getting a 1x1 building from Fireworks Design Studio, you could also retreat this tweet, so you have 2 chances to get a building if you are a Decentraland owner, landowner. So at the same time, I'm actually doing a 1-week exclusive Decentraland Gallery priority exhibition to anyone who actually joined my Wednesday live stream. So basically what I'm gonna do is that on Wednesday, I'm gonna live raffle the 10 winners on Twitter that participated in part 1 and part 2 giveaways. And at the same time, I'm gonna choose someone could, I would be in Decentraland. You could, talk to me in voice chat in Decentraland. And if you share your story with me, I might choose one of you to get the 7 days exhibition for Decentraland on the gallery, right? So you would be the first exhibition if you were chosen, right? If you decide to, do the exhibition immediately, right? So yeah, great event yesterday, a great turnout. Didn't know that there would be more than 50 plus people in Google Meets, and a lot of interesting dialogues, a lot of interesting sharing. In the beginning, I talked about, my vision for the gallery. The reason why I wanted a gallery is not to show off my NFTs. I don't really have a lot of NFTs, to be honest, but I wanted to use it as a space where any artists or people could come and join and, create events like this, right? We had a great time yesterday. And imagine, this is just impressive in the sense that all of the artists that are participating is from all over the world, right? We have artists from the Netherlands, we have artists from Brazil, we have people from Asia, we have people from North America. And all of this could happen at the same time because they all make time, right? And also we have a common area, which is the Metaverse, right? Which is the Decentraland, where you could see the art. And then we also have the Google Meets where we could actually meet each other and then all gather together in one place at one time globally, right? So that's the beauty of the Metaverse. For me, it's not about flipping land or whatever. The beauty of the Metaverse is all about, being able to connect so many people in one common shared space. And that is the biggest potential I do see. And we have very interesting sharing from an architect firm, how they, Kenny from a traditional interior design company become a Metaverse, building provider, right? So that's a very interesting sharing. He also talked about the building design. We also have Genuine Human Art sharing his upcoming Ethereum State mint. He is doing allow list giveaways, so feel free to check him out at Genuine Human Art at Ethereum State. So, you don't want to miss his art because he talked about doing generative art so that more people could be accessible to his art rather than just one out of ones. We have philosopher walk us through a very thoughtful journey about the reproducibility of art and also how the aura of art is missing if it's reproduced many times, right? So it's interesting because digital art is easily reproduced, right? So definitely check out his sharing. And then we have this talk about his journey in Vietnam and how his life was able to inspire him to create this art piece. And so it is an art piece that speak and it is a very dream-like way where he shared this, right? It is very interesting to go through his journey as a digital nomad and to really see his story on how he came up with this piece, right? So I added some stock photos just to make it more interesting, and because there were some bugs at the same time with Google Meet, so I just added some stock photo to make it interesting. Feel free to check out that video. BitPC was there sharing about how voxel art is also a type of art form, and also we have Sevi loves art, like April, Sevi's mother, talk about how thanks to community support they were able to get the funding to mint Sevi's first NFT, and that's how his journey started from there. And I talked about Amazing Devya and Amazing Devya, Sam, Amazing Devya, Dad, if you're watching this, I am so sorry. For some reason, the Google invite that you sent me was in the right time zone, right? So I think there was some issue with the scheduling, but I did share about a story about how I went to K11 Misia to check out your work and take a photo, because that's just an amazing journey. And then we talked about an amazing duo, a father and son duo, about replicating imperfection using the computer, right? And Todd shared some never before seen alpha in the public. He shared about his upcoming mint pass that is also interactive. So that is super cool, and definitely check that out. And Kumo, Nikki was there, sharing about how art shouldn't have right and wrong, and also how you should relive your inner child, right? Because everyone was talking about reliving your inner child in the last few sessions, and that's pretty much everything that happened yesterday. It was an amazing journey. Definitely go to Decentraland to check it out if you're interested. But anyways, I'm doing the giveaway, so feel free to retweet it and watch it at your own time, at your leisure. So what happened today? Well, the crypto market global cap is back at 1.29 trillion. So we are at a 4.88% increase. So it means that money did come back in. But now we are not back at that 1.3%. I mean 1.3 trillion, right? So we still have a barrier to reach back the previous high. But the reason why crypto rallied so much is actually Bitcoin rallied from 29,000 to 31,000. And if you look at the global charts, this is very important, guys. Definitely altcoins are rallying, because usually Bitcoin moved 1%, altcoin moved 5%, 10% or whatever. But one important thing that we have to see is the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so if we look at this is actually the Bitcoin dominance. So if you remember, if you watch my stream, Bitcoin dominance, it means that how much money, percentage of the money of the market cap is in Bitcoin, right? So right now the Bitcoin dominance is around, let's see, 46.47%, right? So if the Bitcoin dominance is high, it basically means that altcoins rally would be lower. So usually when the market is bad, we have seen that Bitcoin dominance going higher and higher, right? So right now I would say that the Bitcoin dominance is kind of hovering at a 46% level. So it means that money is going back to in Bitcoin, right? Money is still staying in Bitcoin because they're worried about the market, right? So there is still a bearish potential. So trade, be careful. It is only until we see a huge drop in Bitcoin dominance then we can really confirm a new bull market, or maybe a new alt season where the money goes from Bitcoin to these altcoins with huge gains, right? So, but I don't think it's the time now, because if you look at CNBC for today, the reason why we do see the screen and it was sustained earlier this morning is because look at Asian market, right? Asian market is basically mostly all positive, right? Hang Seng Index 2.7. Look at EU, all positive. Right now the market hasn't opened yet, but pre-market everything is positive, right? So all of these positivity adds up together to help the crypto market sustain this, right? So right now everyone is still waiting for the US market. We're still waiting for different result earning and stuff like that, and that will affect where we go. So you have to track closely with the market. But what does this mean? What is the learning that we have, right? Usually the learning that we have is that if the market is kind of hovering, not doing anything, but if it's on an upward trend, then that means that there's a chance that it might go back up, right? And it is usually these candles that we never catch, right? So as I said in my last stream, dollar cost average in when it goes down. When it goes up, maybe take some profit. Dollar cost average in when it goes down again, right? And that's how you can ride this kind of sideways market that we have seen for some time, right? So I do think that this is actually a great trading idea, right? This is a time to sell. If it goes back down, then you buy, and then it goes back up, you sell, and then that's a guaranteed profit, right? So it's just don't be greedy, right? So if we look at this, nothing much to say. All coins rallying, it makes sense. If we look at the crypto total market cap, we are still trying to go back to 1.3. We are still trying to go back up, right? If we look at the on-chain data, looks pretty much the same as last Friday, right? Net reserve, exchange reserve is kind of pessimistic in a sense that there are more money going in. So if we look at the exchange reserve for Bitcoin, right? Because since Bitcoin is driving up all the price. Okay, exchange reserve is okay. I mean, like it is kind of steady. Okay, we do have a downward movement from 1st of June. Okay, and then if we look at the exchange, net inflow and outflow. Okay. If we look at the net inflow and outflow, interestingly, for some reason, yesterday there is more Bitcoin entering into the market, and there are Bitcoin leaving the market today, right? So negative. So it means that the chance of going up is high, and then boom, it goes up, and then Bitcoin goes in. And the reason why we do see the green candle, I think, is because people are trying to move the Bitcoin in, and then maybe they kind of jack up the price, and then they could take some profit, right? So that could also be a strategy. But I always track these on-chain data so that we could have a more informed decision, right? So moving on to our next news, DeFi still pretty much the same. We still haven't recovered from the Luna dump, but we are here. NFT news on Ethereum, pretty much mixed market. Goblin Town kind of rallied again because Golden Goner from BAYC took a photo with Beeple, and then they were saying something like, they are related to Goblin or something like that, right? So that kind of rallied it again from 4 ETH to 6 ETH. So if you are on time and if you catch these pumps, these could be great trading opportunity, but there is a risk for that as well. So if we look at the NFT market, if we look at Ethereum and Solana, Ethereum percentage change of sales in terms of fiat volume did decrease 25.5%, which kind of makes sense because in the weekend maybe people are less active in trading. But then for Solana, there's a 1.42% increase, which is great. But I do think that Solana was bleeding a while back because server crack. This blockchain kept going down. If we look at this on the 24-hour basis, look at the marketplace. Okay, it's still loading. So let's talk about the Ethereum market in the last 24 hours. It's still cold. As I said, the sentiment is not pretty good, but it seems like recently with the pump, there is some increase in the market cap and total volume, so which is a good thing. And let us look at this. Okay, so Magic Eden, as you can see in the last 7 days, was a downward trend, right? And the reason for that is because Solana was losing so much money because it kept crashing, and then Solana at one point went to 38 USD, which was kind of the early buys that I did a while back, like last year. So so this really explains to you that the chain itself is could affect the marketplace themselves as well, right? Same for Magic Eden 7 days is a negative 2.64, but Ethereum OpenSea is still going at 1.58. Okay. All right. Moving on to today's news. The first news is actually Bitcoin Ethereum jumped 5% as crypto market rebound, which I kind of talk about. We are seeing a 31,000 Bitcoin, which is great. But then Bitcoin is still down compared to its previous highs. So yeah, Ethereum's luster price action is compounded by massive sell-off in the DeFi space, which is kind of the UST, right? And we could see that, and there's no money going back into DeFi, right? Since that huge evaporation of the money, right? So next interesting news is Disney hired former Apple executive to head Metaverse creative strategy, right? So it seems like Disney is taking the Metaverse seriously. They are hiring previous Apple executive, so it means that they are having people with technical backgrounds. And for some reason, why Apple, right? Why not maybe Google? Why not Facebook, right? So basically, Mark Bozon has been hired by Disney to head up their Metaverse creative strategy. He is a veteran in the tech space, working for Apple in 12 years in various positions. Okay, so he was a games creative director, which makes sense because Metaverse is a lot of gaming in there. Senior editor of the App Store, so he knows the consumer's taste, or he kind of builds or shapes these tastes of the consumer. and also work in game like IGN and electronic gaming monthly in writing and editing roles, right? So he has editorial experience in that. He was hired by Mike White, who shares similar title of Senior VP of Next Generation Storytelling and Consumer Experience. So for Metaverse, they call it Next Generation Storytelling and Consumer Experiences, okay? So Disney has been big on NFTs, the partnership with Vivi, we talked about it before. Disney Metaverse Venture, so it basically talks about how Disney is entering into the Web3 and Metaverse space. So it's interesting to see big companies entering into Metaverse, not just regarding Metaverse as games or whatever, right? But they do have a long-term strategy for that, right? That's why they're hiring these executives to come to the company, right? Another interesting news, Yuga Labs confirmed Discord server hacked, 200 ETH worth of NFT stolen, and actually Golden Garner did come out and say, we shouldn't be using Discord, or they were blaming Discord for all these hacks, right? Discord isn't working for Web3 communities. We need a better platform that puts security first, right? But I mean, you're the one. I mean, you're using Discord, right? You're not using another platform. So maybe there will be a Web3 type of Discord. We never know in the future. But it shows that. But there are people saying that stop blaming Discord, right? Another time won't save you from repeating same mistakes, right? For you guys, if you see a Discord community that did not say anything about having a private mint or anything, just don't mint it, right? Don't click on the links, right? Be very skeptical in Discord when clicking links. For me, I'm very skeptical when people add me for no reason, right? I just ignore them, right? Why should you add me out of no reason, right? Those are usually just scammers, right? So I turn off all my PMs, whatever, disable every tags and stuff like that. You gotta be careful, guys, because this is real. Like, even though right now we're saying, you lose 200 ETH, but you never know, because maybe 1 ETH for you is a big thing, and then you just accidentally click a button. I saw a news about a guy claiming like a Goblin thing got hacked, right? So always be careful. Always check revoke.cash to check if you have signed any weird transactions, so that you could prevent yourself from being drained, right? Always remember this, right? If Ethereum is stolen from the wallet, it basically means that there's a high chance that your private key is stolen, right? But if only certain NFTs are stolen from the wallet, it basically means that you have signed certain permissions for that specific collection. So there is two things, right? If you have signed certain collections and you don't want to give up your wallet, it's fine. You have to revoke these transactions. You have to revoke these collection permissions, right? So you can do that, revoke the cache. But if your Ethereum is stolen, it basically means that your private key is compromised. Then you should basically just go for a new wallet, right? So another interesting news, Epic Games Store's first NFT game is Gala's Wild West Shooter Grid, right? So basically Gala Games plans a Web3 flag in a popular PC marketplace Epic Games Store, with plans to roll out its Battle Royale game this year. So it's great to see that, we do remember that Steam decided to ban Web3 games, right? But then Epic Games were like, we embrace these games. So Gala Game kind of lists the game on, on Epic Store. So it'll be interesting to see if it's able to attract people to play the game, right? Non-crypto people, just gamers, right? Because for those of you who do not know, a while back I saw a very interesting news, and that is Diablo Infinity, right? Sorry, Diablo Immortal play to earn, right? Play to win model had a very negative sentiment in the gaming world, right? So these are the headlines, right? It costs 110,000 to fully gear up in Diablo Immortal, right? So a YouTuber calculates how much it costs to max out characters' legendary gems in Diablo Immortal, and the number goes beyond 6 figures. And I think it is because of some things like this, like pay to win, that makes people make gamers very skeptical about NFTs, and also make them very worried about how NFTs are gonna repeat the same mistakes by companies like this, right? Because this is not NFT, right? This is a centralized server gear, right? So it's interesting to see that. So hopefully these Web3 companies could educate people in a different sense, that they are not cash grabby and that everyone has the same chance, and it is really play to earn or play and earn, right? So that's it for today's news. Nothing really big. I do think that the rally is based on the traditional market. Traditional market is positive, and therefore we are rallying. And I don't know. I mean, the market is sick of going sideways, right? So it do show you that there are a lot of money on the sideline, right? Another tip that I want to share with you is that if you go to CoinMarketCap, if you look at the first top 10, right? USDT, USDC, And BUSD is actually in the top 10. Stable coins are actually in the top 10 in terms of the market cap, right? So it means that these, crypto has money in it, right? So basically, if you see all of these in the top 10, it basically means that there are a lot of money on the sideline. Simply put, right? If these drop out of the top 10, it basically means that they are rotating back to the altcoins, that we rotating back to crypto, and the market is fully back in a new bull run swing. So these are some of the signs that you see. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. Hope to see you again. It's great to have a new week with green, right? So this is but don't be so happy in such a short period of time. You still have to observe more. You have to look at on-chain data. We have to do more streams to see how the market goes. So that's it. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.